we want to talk about leading and following a role. What is it and why it is important? Because this topic and discovering these roles, leading and following, which we basically all of humans use in most of the interactions, like in between humans, what it is, and it is also core of our workshop, of Conscious Power Play workshop. So please, what is leading role?
Leading refers to any action where one person takes responsibility of a situation. That can mean that this person is showing initiative, like coming up with a suggestion how to move on from here. Like, hey, do we want to go to the kino? Do you cook dinner? Like this pure act of asking this question or of trying to clarify it is already leading. And the idea behind is that if this is clear, people are not supposed to wait that something will happen or someone will come up with an idea, but that it's transparent and clear. And the person who seeks this clarity, I refer to as leading.
Or leader, can be. Okay. And what the following role is?
Following refers to any action where a person agrees to be led by another one. So, for example, to stick with that, one suggested to go to the cinema and the other one agrees, then that person follows the idea of the leading one, and by that the situation is clear.
Okay. Yeah, for me also is it also that someone holds space for another one?
Absolutely. This goes one level deeper when it is beyond the initiative and goes to an actual action. Let's say a massage exchange, for that example. That first of all, there is the suggestion that it happens at all, right? Two people say, hey, do you want to step into a massage exchange with me? Yes, no, yes, all right. Next thing is how to figure out a frame for that. Like usually people agree that one receives first and one gives first. So this is all part of the preparation. When the preparation is done and it practically comes to one person massaging and one person receiving a massage, then the person receiving is asked to relax into receiving as deep as somehow possible. This is what I call following then. And the value behind this is if the structure is clear. For example, who gives first, who receives first, what is the time frame? Then the receiving one can totally relax and welcome all the gifts that are coming. Compared to a situation where this is unclear, and the receiving person, like all the time checks the clock and I'm receiving so long already, is that okay? Is the other person waiting for me to say it's enough, or is it okay that I get so much gifts here? Like it basically prevents all these thoughts and doubts which prevent us from fully entering a situation. And the more clear that is, the more energy can flow.
In between two of them.
Between those two people involved. Like, again, to the massage exchange, no matter how sensitive and good the giver is massaging, if the person receiving the massage is stressed or not able to relax or not able to receive the gift, or maybe even on a deeper level cannot receive
at all
physical attention in form of touch at all, and is more or less like, maybe the other person likes it because I don't. Like, in such a setup, all the gifts would be wasted. Like, no matter how good the masseur is, nothing lands, right? And the other way around as well. Like, if the person receiving can really open up, can really trust, can really relax into the time frame, can really relax into the structure. Like, now it's my time to receive. It's okay that I receive because later I will give back. So this is a fair deal. Then basically all the gates are open, and that supports the giver because there is no barrier anymore in between. Like, whatever is given is received immediately. And that is by people usually perceived as intensity, as depth.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanna add that the deal can be also that only one receives. If it's okay, if it's set at the beginning. I just want to get rid of this frame of now I give and then you give to me, you know. I just wanna, because it can be
absolutely
also enriching by giving.
Yes.
Okay, so if we stay with a leading and following role, so do I understand it well? It's also, for example, therapy, like a therapy session. Is the therapist like the leading one, and the client is a following one?
That's a tricky question, because depending on which level we look, the answer is different. To explain it a bit, on a surface level, the therapist is holding space for the client, and the client is welcome to be in that space and be held. On another level, usually it's the client who reaches out to a therapist first. It's not the other way around. So there the client is in the leading role, taking responsibility for their own needs and asking for support and figuring out who could that person be. So initially it is the client, and then if those person agree to step into the client-therapist relationship, then it's the therapist who holds space. But still, even while the therapist holds space, it's still the client who guides with his own topic what is active here and now with the current needs. It totally guides the therapist which space is held. So this is really not so clear
trivial
example to answer.
Okay.
Or there are several overlapping truths playing out.
Okay, so also, like, in a job, it's pretty clear for me that the boss is like the leading one, and say employee is the following one, or employees are the following ones.
That's how it should be.
Yeah. Okay. Because obviously the boss has way more responsibility than the employees, and he is in charge, like, in many things, in many responsibilities. And he also kind of should look after his employees to be like a good team and to perform good.
If he is a responsible boss, he should care about the well-being of the employees and the team there. Yeah.
Okay.
But also there are shady areas, let's call it that way. While on obvious level, the boss is leading and employees are supposed to follow, like still there can dynamics play out, let's say that the employees are unhappy for one reason or another, and then there's one employee who suggests the other ones to work a bit slower and to take it easy, and like, hey, fuck him, and so while technically the boss is leading, there energetically the rebellious employee is leading.
Yeah, we spoke about it, or we touched this topic in another video we did. Yeah. The energetic leading. Okay, and can you give some examples? Because our workshop really touches topics in relationships, or topics from relationships or partnerships and basic human interactions. Can you name some examples from relationship when someone is leading and when someone is following, and tell me like good ways and bad ways, how it can be done or arranged?
Okay, let's start with bad ways, because this is more obvious. Bad ways with an unclear power dynamic is when people in a partnership wish for something, but do not express it. Because they assume that this is just so normal that I don't even have to say it. And if I have to say it, I don't want it anymore. I want you to gift it to me. If you don't do it out of your own motivation, then I don't want it. Very safe way to become unhappy.
Okay.
In a partnership, everyone needs to be responsible for their own needs and communicate them. What the needs are here and now, because the needs of here and now can be greatly different than what was important yesterday or half a year ago. And so it's in that context, it's very much about clear communication, about honesty, about not assuming that the partner is a telepath and just a psychic who can read the field and just say, hey,
I feel you need this. Yeah. Or I know you want this.
Like if one is hungry, then there is no point in hoping that the other one will get hungry too, and then the problem solves itself. Like this is potential for conflict and most importantly for dissatisfaction.
So I feel a little bit in this direction. It's also about that I have to really clarify in myself what I really want.
Absolutely.
And really go in touch truly and authentically with myself. For me, I would say it's the first step, and second step is the ability to speak it out, because this can be also very hard for some people. For me, it was hard.
Absolutely, it starts with self-awareness, self-exploration, and also curiosity about oneself. Like, what is it that I really need? What is it that I would appreciate from my partner now? What is it how I would like the situation to develop? Like, to not hope for the magic fairy or the prince on the horse to just make it all happen in a beautiful way, but to really first of all be honest to oneself. What is it that I want? What is it that I need? What is it that I would appreciate? And then when these questions are answered, which, as you say, is not trivial for some people, but we have exercises and tools in the workshop to support those people as well. When it's clear, then the next step is to communicate it. And ideally to communicate it in a open and inviting way. So with open and inviting, I mean that the partner still has the chance to say, oh yeah, I'm happy to provide this, or I hear you, but I'm sorry, I can't provide this here and now.
Okay.
Without this causing a big trouble. Where I'm basically coming to the third step already, like first being aware, second communicating, finding the voice, saying it in a way that is heard, and then the third step is dealing with the response, whatever the response is.
Because it can be no also.
It totally can be no. Like that one has clarity and communicated with clarity still doesn't guarantee that the wish is granted. There's still the possibility that it's not possible at the moment, or just that the other one doesn't want to give that here and now. And that must be an option.
Okay, and now like some like a situation is like appearing in my head. Practical things. What if like one of them is able to say what they want? They say it. They know it. Say like now we don't question if it is their real need. They say like I need like a new car, for example. Can you buy it? And
interesting example.
Okay, I don't know. It can be anything. Okay, I want this and this, and the other person doesn't want to do it, or is not clear if he or she want to do it, and still say yes. Describe these dynamics. Say something about it. Or
we don't talk about the car anymore, right?
No, we are not talking about car.
Right.
It was just first.
Okay, what you described basically is that one person requests attention, a favor, some service, a gift, whatever.
Or suggest like a trip or what we're gonna do also.
Comes up with any idea that requires the other one to cooperate, right? And the person who is asked either is so disconnected from oneself that it's hard to say if the person want or can to give it. If this is the case, then the solution would be to clearly state that you need more time.
Say, I don't know now. I need more time to decide if it is yes for me or no for me.
Maybe one step back. If it's not 100%, oh yeah, this is a great idea, then it's a no.
Okay, this is a good one.
If it's maybe, or let's see, or I could possibly imagine, this is all a no.
Okay.
We only go with the 100%. Oh yeah, I would love to do that. If this is not present, it's a no.
Okay.
To your question, it happens that people have no clear perception if there is a yes or no, but because they want to cooperate or they want to
be a good boy,
or to look adult, or to
look adult.
Or to be loved, the person says, yeah, sure, of course, my dear. With the absence of an inner yes. Like basically now, the fulfillment is not driven by a yes, I want, but it's driven by
I should.
So I prevent punishment. Because if I say no, that might be risky. She might get angry. She might
go away.
Whatever. Like
she or he, of course. Like
any kind of unpleasant dynamic could play out, which brings me in even deeper trouble.
So basically, it means that this person acts out of fear.
Yes.
And disconnection from herself or himself?
On a baseline level, it's acting out of fear, and even if it's coming from the, let's say, from the helper syndrome, or from the rescuer, or from the good boy, good girl, yeah, it still can be traced back to fear of judgment, fear of exclusion, fear of negative consequences, and as we know, basically all kind of fear-driven behavior earlier or later falls on our feet. So we want to prevent that as good as possible. And that's why we also have some communication exercises in the workshop to make sure everyone has the experience how in the body 100% yes or a maybe or a no feels, and how to say it, and how to deal with the reaction, whatever the reaction is.
So this is important point for me, that you can really know or get to know what is your true yes and your true no, your authentic yes and your authentic no in the workshop. Because the workshop is really safe space to explore this, to find out, because sometimes I meet people, and also me, I've been in this situation, that saying yes to certain things, and it doesn't have to be in partnership, in a relationship. It can be anywhere, like especially also family dynamics, for example, because it's family, you have to say yes. Like, of course, like they ask you something, it's your family, like, and for example, me, I was not realizing that it's no. And also like from stories from other people, like when I speak with them, like they share quite a lot that or also I think that there can be like a pattern or structure or cycle in which I constantly say yes to something which but in reality I don't want to do, and it can take years.
It's a pretty common pattern that people routinely don't ask themselves. Like they have never considered that they have the freedom to say yes or no. They never considered the question to be a question where no is a valid answer. And that's why we work with somatic experiencing in the workshop, where it's really about reading your own body, reading your own body reaction, and translating that into words.
Because it has like ultimate truth. It is like ultimately true. The body.
That's a good question. I would say the body experience and the somatic experience is the best hint we can get what is true here and now.
Yeah, and it's also, it can be it is it basically always temporary answer, because it can be no for next, I don't know, 2 or 3 days, but then maybe it can change to yes.
It can change within a minute.
Okay.
It can change within a second.
Okay.
Like, classic example. Maybe you know that from workshops you have participated in. For some exercise, you are paired with a random other member of the group or another participant. Yeah. And you look at this guy, like let me just make a story up, and you see like pretty old, ugly glasses. I don't like him. Like something where your mind, your filter tells you, hey, man, I don't want, right? You could go with that totally. You could just say, hey, I want a new partner or something. All right. then you prevent yourself from the chance that, let's say, the exercise is, I don't know, some simple touch, whatever, and while your mind tells you that you don't like that energy or something, but when he actually touches you, you feel like, oh, that's way different than I expected. and no turns into a yes. Like, that still doesn't make you love the person, but it allows you to enter the situation without this inner rejection. And is somatic experiencing the ultimate truth? I know nothing better.
Yeah.
If anyone knows something better, let me know. But for now, I would say this is the best tool we have to find out what is aligned with our system here and now.
Yeah, to gain the clarity in that moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, yeah, okay.
What happened?
No, it's just like...
Reminded you of something?
Maybe.
And it can work the other way around as well. Like something...
Did you feel or think yes?
Yeah.
And which...
Or that even your somatic experiencing it draws you to the person, and it's really interesting, and your whole system is yes, please. But then in the moment you feel the touch, it's like, oh, what the fuck?
Okay.
I didn't see that coming. That feels horrible. Please no.
Okay.
So to your question, like, how quick can it change? Very quick.
Okay.
Very quick.
Yeah. But it's still important to stay true to yourself and express it, because then the meeting, or actually any meeting and co-creating, can go on and have some like positive results, or how can I say? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it can grow, and it prevents resentment. Like that people engage in things they actually don't like, and instead of just stopping it, silently starting to hate the other person, or even hating oneself.
Because of they didn't express.
Because they didn't express, because they are ashamed to express that it's now different, or they feel judgmental that the other person is not sensitive enough, or they hate themselves, that one always ends up in the same situation. Oh, poor me, victim again. So there's all kind of possibility how such a situation can derail when the people are not authentic in the moment and go with their perception and speak their truth.
I would say a bit with the victim you mentioned. And with the thoughts or words like, okay, they always do this to me, or this is always happening to me. How is it linked with the feeling what I want and expressing it? I know it's maybe okay. How the victimhood and the state of victim is linked with really feeling what I want, what is my need, what is my boundary probably, or and being able to express it.
There are several possibilities how an interaction can go wrong and end up with one feeling like a victim. First possibility is that the perception is not working. How can that be?
Self-perception.
Yes. That can be because people are very limited in their ability to feel in general. Like, let's say, because they are traumatized, or they had a rough history or something like that. Something was so painful that basically part of this inner world is just shut down. Like, people don't care anymore how they feel. Like
because there's a lot of pain, or
mostly
feelings. Oh, I don't wanna reach, or I don't wanna feel.
if there's unsolved stuff inside, feeling deeply is uncomfortable. It's painful because it brings people in contact with the unsolved stuff. So they decide to subconsciously to not feel, which limits the pain, but also limits any other interaction. And related to our topic, also limits the ability to read oneself. Like to say, what do I want? Does it feel good? Do I like it? Do I not like it? Like, do I care? Do I don't care? What's like that? I have an answer at all.
Yeah.
Like this is what I mean with perception.
Self-perception.
Yeah. Second thing that can go wrong is the communication. Like, obviously, it goes wrong if the communication doesn't happen, and it also can go wrong if the communication is sending conflicting signals. Like, if someone says no instead of no. Like with the energy of I'm not sure, maybe tease me a bit, would you play with me anyway? Like if
subconsciously, but
yes.
Yeah.
That the communication. Third part that can go wrong is that even if the communication was successful, that the person hearing it is, let's call it, triggered, and by that not reacting appropriately. Like to stick with that example, like there is a no thanks verbally, and the person finds that so hurtful, so insulting, so rejecting, that the person just ignores that was just said and continues to move on. Like just pretends it didn't happen. You know, which then requires the first one to say, hey,
really no.
I happily repeat myself, but I meant it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, these are things that come to mind.
Yeah. It's pretty clear, I think. Yeah, it's nice. Can you give like a specific example of this? Like a real, like I don't know, like in a job, in a partnership, in I don't know. Is there another human interaction like?
Maybe a partnership classic. Weekend evening, one sex, one not.
Okay.
How to deal with that?
I don't know, like, tell us.
Unsolved mysteries of mankind.
Okay. Yeah, I know this is a deeper stuff because.
Okay, what's not so deep? What's a easier, more graspable thing?
Like simpler thing maybe is like, I don't know, one suggesting we go there. We go to cottage.
Right.
The other one doesn't want because, for example, the cottage is very cold. But have a lot of or you cook tonight. Or you are a woman, you should tidy up always. No, this is too no. Let's stay with the we go to cottage on a weekend.
And then happens what?
And then other person like when the one suggests this and the other person is so like disconnected that she or he is not in touch with his or her needs or with the inner clarity and says, for example, yes, we go there.
That's the lottery.
Maybe he or she likes it eventually or no. Okay.
And that's the lottery for both because the one can like it or not, and the one who took the initiative can be praised or judged later, depending on the experience.
Okay.
So risky.
Okay, risky for both.
Yeah.
Okay, and when the person feels it's no, but still say yes. This was the second example, problem with the communication. The person has clarity inside, but still say the opposite.
Yeah. That's usually a recipe for an unpleasant trip to the cottage, because the person who has an inner no will be resentful one way or another, and will use any chance to point out that it's really cold, that it's really raining, that it's I could do something better today, but yeah, because of you I have to suffer here. And basically finding external explanations
why I don't like it,
which allow to ignore the fact that just the person couldn't say in the first place, I really don't like to go there today.
Yeah.
And then hopes that it makes the other one just happy if he is there. But I mean, who is happy with someone next to you suffering? No one.
No one.
So it's a
okay. Yeah, and the third example, I think it's with going to cottage, it would need really extra effort for the one who is not hearing no thanks to take the other person really to cottage. So it's not the perfect example. Okay. But it can be with touch, yeah. When one person say no thanks, it's clear and it's also able to communicate. But the first person, which was suggesting the touch, for example, is still continuing, like
continuing to suggest or
continuing into doing, like, and not really receiving and respecting the no thanks.
Right. In that case, it's the responsibility of the person whose boundaries are crossed to care for oneself. And that means either to restate what was just said and make sure that it is heard.
Actually, we can say reclaim the boundary.
Exactly, yeah. And if for some reason that is not possible, let's say because the other one is too drunk to hear it or to... Then it's the responsibility of the person to leave the situation. Like if you have no control anymore and you can't protect your boundaries, then you have to go.
Away.
Yes.
And it's the responsibility of the one...
Of the potential victim.
Of the potential victim.
Yes.
Okay, to take care. Yeah.
But because in such a situation, you cannot change the reality of, like, you can try, but it's still no guarantee. So before you get harmed or before you get even more uncomfortable, you have to leave the situation. Like, that can mean more physical distance, or that can mean to leave the house, whatever. But if realistically, right, among healthy and sober people, that tends not to happen.
Yeah, but like we know some examples when this is happening, like, but it's
Maybe women have a bit more experience with that than men, but
okay. Yeah, and it just came across my mind just now. You mentioned, like, when, or you said when for example the person who's not hearing the boundary and the clear statement of boundary is drunken, so he or she can't hear it.
Or pretends to hear nothing, yeah.
Pretends, okay. It's a certain level of unconsciousness.
Yes.
Can we say that also this level of unconsciousness can be caused by trauma? That the person who is not able to listen and respect is so traumatized that is not able to respond respectfully, even though on the another side is clarity and clear communication.
I think trauma is one possible explanation for such a dynamic, but it also touches the topic of one's personal values. You know, and some people have the value. I take the person in front of me serious, and a no means a no. And some people are a bit more on the narcissistic side and perceive a no as a yes later.
This is crazy. Okay.
No, I mean,
or you don't know it is yes for you. You are saying no, but
and you know yourself people who don't take no for an answer. Right, and whatever the reason is, whatever story is behind there, it's ultimately the responsibility of the one in danger to protect oneself.
And to just leave.
To either be heard or to make distance or to leave.
Okay.
Like whatever it takes.
Yeah,
Whatever it takes.
Yeah, it's interesting just when this led to, yeah. Because if I sum it or if I make a summary, sometimes the really solution of this dynamic is to leave.
Clear, yes.
Because like if
sometimes there is no solution.
Yeah, if I like fulfill all these first two steps, like get clarity in myself, communicate it clearly, and when it's not heard, the third solution or the third thing I can do to stay happy, I say.
To stay healthy.
Healthy. Okay, this is to stay healthy. This is important.
Is to leave the situation.
Yeah. Is to leave.
To end the situation.
To end the situation and take my space. Take the safe space for myself.
Yes.
And it's like an act of self-care and so self-love.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, I think it's all for today, for
all
this
right.
video. And I really have another topics for another video, like touching boundary and also the question of inner dynamics, inner masculine, inner feminine, inner leader, inner follower, say, or surrender, we can say it, yeah. And also this interesting question, can women lead a situation? Like, no, I am saying it because like recently few women asked me this, how it is, you know, so, but yeah. Okay.
We will address that in the next video.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for your attention. See you next time.
See you next time.